Good morning! Halika, magkape tayo. Welcome to the morning coffee with Father Jerry. The text for today's reflection is from Matthew chapter 5, verse 13 to 19. It says, "You are the salt of the earth, but when the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish the law, but to fulfill them. For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of a pen will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. Therefore, anyone who sets aside one of these least of these commandments and teaches others accordingly will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever practices and teaches these commands will be called great in the kingdom of heaven." Thus is the reading of today's gospel reflection. What it is for us. What is God's message for us today through this gospel text from Matthew? When Jesus said that Christian must be the light of the world after he acknowledged us as the salt of the earth, what does it mean for us? If you still remember, one of the topics or my topics last month of September when we had our 15 minutes of catechism with Father Jerry. If I'm not mistaken, one of those topics is about the salt. And I asked you one time, or that time, to focus our reflection on the salt instead of the light. Because there must be something valuable, important in the salt that most of the time we just take for granted today. So Jesus, for me, chose the salt as a tool in order for him to emphasize his message for everyone to acknowledge themselves that if you are a salt, you are somebody important in the world. So, as I've said that time, let's remind ourselves today that salt is important because it comes from the two unadulterated elements on earth. Number one, I said, first it comes from the deep blue sea. Second, the rays of the rays or the heat of the sun. Remember that? Pag merong dalawang unadulterated elements of nature, and that's the sea, so I use the term the deep blue sea, and the heat of the sun, these two elements produces salt. The rays or the heat of the sun and the sea, the deep blue sea, is actually pure. I use the term unadulterated kasi wala siyang halong chemicals, wala siyang halong coloring. It's pure, clean. Ano pa bang pwede nating i-describe sa elements nito? But more importantly, pag meron itong dalawang elements, from earth, it produces salt. So, ito yung nakita kong salt must be very important in the eyes of the Lord, that He wants us, as He impart the message, He wants us to see seriously this element of salt. And if you are the salt of the earth, ano bang function ito sa buhay natin? During the time of Jesus, number one, they need some kind of preservative to preserve the freshness of the fish, bagong huling isda sa mga fishermen. Second, they need salt to preserve to preserve the closeness among family members, community, because salt gives flavor to life. When salt gives flavor to life, it also enhances intimate appreciation of each other. Family, extended family, community, the church. Once somebody is contented, masarap ang timpla ng kanyang buhay, hindi lang psychologically but also physically, it also shows, it shows to people that you are shining through, that life is so beautiful for you. And then, it magnetizes other people. So parang salt ang element na nag-motivate for people, for family members, for community. Yeah, masarap ang ugnayan sa bawat isa. Contented, in harmony, unity. Sarap ang buhay kung i-describe natin. So simple lang yung gusto niyang ipaparating. But if we are able to realize the usage and the effect of salt in one's life, it gives flavor to life. It preserves our relationship in life. Ganyan ang salt. So in short, if you preserve relationship with other people, if you give tasteful, delicious flavor, aroma, sa kapwa-tao, you are a salt. And more importantly, if you preserve the freshness of that relationship among family members, among community, you are the salt of the earth. And if you are the salt of the earth, thank God for that. Why? Because you are able to accomplish your mission in this world as a salt of the earth. Simple lang, no? Ang haba-haba mong pwedeng i-describe about salt that nourishes and gives flavor to life. Second, yung focus dito is, you are the light of the world. Alam po nating lahat na this life of being a committed follower of Jesus as disciples, as Christians, this kind of life is something that should be shared, is a kind of life that should be seen by people, not just to be acknowledged, not just to be to lift up one's spirit, to become known and well known. But when Jesus said, "Be the light of the world," He wants us to put into our relationship the purpose of a light within ourselves. That light is there purposely to shine in order for people to see the surroundings. The surroundings. So when He says you are the light of the world, be a light. Ibig sabihin nito, show to people, guide people, show your light to them in order for them to see their surroundings, to see themselves. And seeing themselves, they were able to realize what are the good things and the not so good things in their lives in order for them to transform. So being the light is, you are the guide. Being the light is Jesus reminding us that particular role in us to be, to give people the light in order for them to see their surroundings. And to be the light, Jesus wants us to show our life as a witness and as an example for others to emulate. Sabi ko kanina, hindi na light to be seen and to be shown to people, but as a light, He wants us to be the guide for other people in their path of life towards Jesus. So, hindi lang ito light, shining light in order for us to be seen and to be acknowledged. No, it's beyond the personal needs. It's a kind of light that gives direction to each one of us. So we who are the disciples of Jesus, this challenge into this gospel is directly imparted directly to us. To us. Kumbaga, a reminder directed to us. Because you are the first who commits ourselves to follow Him. So therefore, we need to be the salt and to be the light of others who follows Jesus. So, kumbaga, we lead by example. At yan mga kapatid, ang ating challenge ngayon. Be the salt and be the light. So, as leaders, unang tinawag, sabi nga, we should lead by example. So, as a salt, we give flavor, we preserve people, we give that special taste by which people are able to appreciate among themselves that intimate relationship with Him and with God. Secondly, be the light of the world. Light that shines into the life of others as they go through in their journey going back to the Father. Be the light and be the salt of the earth. So, paano to, mga kapatid? Good morning ulit and see you tomorrow.